All right, people, we're back again. We're back again. This is Footy Sermon this time, Salvation, Footy
uh,
Salvation and Soccer Villa. So, what are you saying, my man? What have you been up to? How's it? What's the football world saying?
man, the football world has been going goo gaga, if that's how they say it from this part of the world. And also, hey, let's push the energy a little bit up. So this is a footy sermon and with salvation, and here is Soccer Villa one, and we're keeping it locked in. We're gonna talk about a whole lot of stuff. Football.
Yeah,
We're ready.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. So,
Yeah,
first off, yeah, this Cucurella injury came up recently.
yeah,
Like Chelsea just lost their left back, and if you ask
yeah,
me my opinion, yeah, I really rate
yeah.
that guy. I really rate Cucurella. Cucurella to me is a top left back in terms of not just his ability to defend, but also get into the opponent box, create chances, score goals, things like that. That's why he lost Chelsea, and the fact
Yeah.
that he's out for 3 weeks. So, how do you think that affects your club?
Oh, why? I mean, Cucurella has proven himself. When he came in the first time, I believe everybody was, a little bit iffy. I was iffy at that time too when he came in the first time, and then just after he played the Euros and they won the Euros, Cucurella transformed, reinvented himself, became someone else, and now he is a backbone in the team. Right,
Yeah.
Cucurella is functioning at the hemisphere of the James and Caicedo, like people you can count on, right? They are not iffy. You know that once you find it on the left back, then probably whoever is gonna play left back, he's very competitive. So you cannot write. It's not a write up like, oh, this is one of those things. This is a huge blow because guess what? There is also no Levi Colwill, but the shield is.
Hey, don't get me started on that guy, man. Body shit.
No, 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 no. I don't know if he lost his parents too, because most times a loss of parents can start making players.
That's true. That's
I
true.
think something like that happened to Conte, and it took him a long time to like reinvent himself back.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened to, because by the shoe came, he came with a lot of force when he came, and then he was doing well, and all of a sudden there was this turnaround. Within 6 months when he came, and boom, he started doubting himself. He was put on the bench for a while, and because these are like people who would call our left-footed defenders, which they can play either the two halves, the what they call it center half, or on the wings.
Yeah.
So, and Cucurella has transformed into Marcos Alonso. I don't know if it's a Spanish thing. So
Yeah.
he's transformed. I saw Cucurella play from the left wing back onto playing a form that I have never seen, where they transform the formation from when he starts as a four defenders, and then at some point it will have to alternate where Cucurella will start becoming the rover to run around into even the midfield, and Caicedo would fall a little bit behind while Cucurella would be running around spaces. It helped us a lot of times when we played that kind of pattern under Enzo Maresca, the person before Enzo Maresca started that thing, and then Enzo Maresca still did it for a bit. So
Mhm.
Cucurella has transformed. He scores goals. I think
You know,
two.
the crazy thing about Cucurella is that initially when he first joined Chelsea, he didn't start well. He
He
didn't
didn't
start.
start well. That's what I'm saying.
It
He didn't
was it
start
was
well.
up and down. It was up and
Yeah.
down with Cucurella for a bit, and then
Mhm.
something switched. I think it was after the Euros.
That's
Was it?
that's exactly what I said. Just
Yeah,
after the Euros.
after the Euros, he just came into some kind of crazy form, and the confidence of winning the Euros, he took that into the league, and
Cucurella would tackle you and be like,
he
how's
was
that? Look at this dude though. Confidence. Like, Cucurella before was, if he drops the ball, he's like confused. Oh, I don't want to make a mistake.
yeah,
Sometimes it can also be when you move from a small team to big team. The expectations is way on the, like, you're almost blown away. You know you can deliver, but
yeah,
how much they bought you for is like it's sort of like Caicedo's issue.
yeah.
It's stunning. Oh, record breaking transfer. What is he gonna do?
True,
And the
true.
media will be like, record breaking transfer. And then even when you travel, all your body is doing your record breaking transfer.
That's true.
So the pressure is
Coming from a small club has its effect, of course. There's a lot of effect on the player coming from a small club.
yeah,
For example, Milos Kerkez at Liverpool right now. You can see that
yeah,
he's being affected. You can see that his mentality is not in
yeah,
the place.
yeah.
You can see that he's like when Kerkez is on the ball, yeah, you can see that he's rushing everything. And that is not because he's a bad player necessarily. It's
No,
because he's not comfortable yet playing in such an environment as Anfield. And Cucurella must have gone through the same learning curve when he joined Chelsea. But then
yes,
going to that, going to that Euros kind of like opened it up for him to say,
same
"Man,
thing.
I belong here. You know, I belong here. I belong in this place. I've won. I've won at the highest level. So this is my level." He came
Yeah.
back from that Euros and he was a different player.
He was different. His tackles, his shoulder, like 50-50 wins. He's gonna bust you up with the ball. I mean, he stood against people like Saka, Salah every time. He always in big games he doesn't shy away. So that's a huge loss. Now I'm thinking that they're going to put Jared Hato
Hato at
to
left back.
yes, the put Hato as left back. Doesn't have a lot of play time, but probably he's going to use this as one time to increase his play time. And
Is he not a centre back, Hato?
bro, as long as you're left footed, my guy.
Well, he should be able to go up and down, because
as long as, as long
because
as you're left footed.
yeah,
So
see,
as long as you're left footed, I believe the coach is going to use you, to cover up the. He would preferably use you than instead of to say, okay, let him play at Champong and then use James on that side. No, you probably use the left back on that side and play however and then maybe have people supporting him because now the left is now going to be one of a weak link.
that's true.
Probably this is a time to also test a few players because sometimes when someone has held the position for a while, other players would have to step up to show that they also deserve that time. You
But
know.
at Chelsea, Cucurella has not really had any competition, so that's why it's been very easy for him to nail down that centre back spot. And talking about Jarel Hato here,
Mhm,
he's a young player. He just came in from Ajax, right? He's a centre back.
mhm,
And what Cucurella gives to Chelsea on the offensive end, I doubt Hato will ever be able to represent that, even if he's moved into the left back position. Yes, he has his qualities. He's a decent defender. He's not a bad defender, right? But
mhm,
he's a young player. He has a lot to learn. He has a long way to go in his career. But the up and down traction, the ability on the ball, the composure in the final third, the runs, the second man runs, the inside runs, the inverted runs that Cucurella makes into the box.
mhm. Yeah, Cucurella makes a lot of runs and he covers a lot of grounds. Cucurella is very sporty. Like he covers a lot of grounds when he's running,
Mhm.
right? Tracking back. I play soccer. Tracking back is madness sometimes. When you take the ball, take it all the way down, and then you have to track back so that you don't lose your opponents. Using that as a way to do a quick counter.
Yeah.
Then you have to track back. So it's not easy. It's a lot of bro.
Nah.
It's a lot of athleticism. So for you to always be going back and forth, so it's something that he has understood how to do, and also the people he's playing with too has understood how to cover him up from time to time.
Mhm.
When he's trying to track back, it's not like there's a lot of loops. There's hardly loops coming from the left side overall most times from Chelsea and it's going to be a huge miss. But I'm sure there'll be something to be done because I know the coach is going to move things around. Some people have made mention about this current coach knowing how to do some very technical changes because he has kind of won a few games now just based off of substitution.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's true. Rosino has had a way better start than people expected him to have. He's shown that
the
he's shown
lecturer.
that he's shown that he has it. He has shown that he has it. He
Yeah.
understands what to do, how to change it up, how to
Yeah,
switch it up.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
with Enzo Maresca, yeah, it got to a point where he earned the trust of the Chelsea fan base, and deservedly so, because he won 2 trophies. He earned the right to
Yeah,
be arrogant.
yeah.
Even if they fired him for his arrogance, he earned the right to be that person.
No,
And
no, yeah.
the thing with Enzo also is that after he left and Chelsea was linked to Rosinha, nobody expected Rosinha to be good. Nobody expected Rosinha to come in and have the impact that he had, or he has had so far.
Oh, he's
One thing
had
I
it
like
right
about
now.
Rosinha a lot, one thing I like about Rosinha a lot is his ability to communicate his ideas to his players, and
I
his
think so.
ability
I think
to
so.
like also his ability to get his players to do what he asks. The ability to communicate. It's like the players are interested in what he's saying, you know, and that is the quality that most managers develop later in their career. Rosinha already has that now. He can build on that. Tactically, he might not be the greatest, he might not be the best, but that is something that you can develop also. It comes with experience. However, his current bag as a manager is very impressive for a young manager. And if Chelsea are going to stick it out with him now the issue is Chelsea fans, yeah. The issue
Mm.
is Chelsea fans, yeah. You guys have a lot of expectations because you guys are spoiled rotten. If you're going to wait out for Rosinha, if you're going
Yeah,
to wait out for Rosinha,
I mean,
it will work out.
we're spoiled rotten. Okay.
It will work out if you wait without Rosinha. But if you go and start expecting this guy to win the league in the next 2 seasons,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's realistic for to ask of a manager of the experience level as Rosinha to win you the league. If he does, that would be fantastic. That puts him in a different echelon of managers. But it is not a realistic ask, especially with the Chelsea squad, the way it's looking right now. I still believe Chelsea needs at least 2 to 3 transfer windows to sort their squad out because there's a lot of holes in the squad. Especially, for example, now with this Cucurella injury, now you can see that it is it is evident that you don't have a backup left back. That is a position that has to be sorted out. Rich James is not reliable. This season he's been fine, but we know his injury history. Caicedo gets red cards here and there. You already have what's his name, the Brazilian midfielder Santos. Santos is a very good cover for Caicedo, but he still has growing up to do. That's fine. He will catch up. But in general, Chelsea have a lot of work to do on their squad before they start putting pressure on Rosinha to win now.
No, 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 no. It would be crazy to expect a coach coming from Strasbourg
Yes.
to just win something from. He wasn't inheriting a team like Man City. So if he was inheriting a team that's already good, probably he just fine tuned it, just like what Arne Slot did the first season last year. But he's inheriting a team that, like you said, has a few here and there. This the soup is not complete yet. Like the
Oh, for
ingredient.
sure, for sure.
So, but I feel one transfer can do it. I feel one transfer window can do it. But the
Can
thing
sort
is,
Chelsea out.
oh yeah,
Okay, let's be realistic here. Transfer windows is all about incomings and outgoings.
okay,
And for squad building, the incomings, the outgoings sometimes, for squad building, the outgoings sometimes can be as important as the incomings, right?
okay.
With the way Chelsea squad is looking now, what are the what positions do you think you can realistically bring in players in the summer?
Um,
How many players do you think?
that like in the last conversation, I told you this. For Chelsea, for me, to me, for Chelsea, I need, I need one, at most two defenders.
Center
That
backs?
whether center back, because me, I believe center back is still wingers, but maybe probably they
I
can
mean
be,
fullbacks.
but probably they can just, because they are taller or they have like bigger frame, and they can, that's why they're just center backs.
Yeah,
Because the wing backs, now you have to be light and run, and
yeah.
at the same time have stamina to hit, tackle and shoulder to shoulder. So it's a mix. But once I have two good defenders, I don't really need a midfielder in Chelsea. I told you before, what I need is a playmaker. So if the playmaker happens to be, because this is a playmaker, also is also what Jao Pedro is. He's not a striker.
True.
He likes to, yeah, he's like Cunha.
Yeah.
Chapello dribbles fast, like, and the
Carrying,
dribble is
carrying
not
the ball is probably one of his best abilities.
good. His dribbling is carrying the ball,
Yeah.
not really throwing his leg. And I love the boy's shots. I
Yeah.
don't care about someone who can shoot with both legs reminds me of Frank Lampard, and I like to watch it. Simple.
Yeah.
Every other person. So I just need one more person that would, because this is what I used to experience when I watch Chelsea's game is this: once you play them a five low block, they're confused. Not that they don't know what to play against you, but because they don't have the 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 people with the skill set enough. If you play a five low block for if you try that rubbish with Pep, he'll leave your five low block there and he'll be bagging you goals on top of that five low block
Yeah.
because Foden is stupid good skill set wise. Cherky can dribble your whole soul. Semenyo, the same thing. Doku, the same thing. So you
Nah,
see,
for real, Chelsea, Man City definitely have the keys to unlock low
good.
defense in the
And
Premier
and
League.
all those unlocking, those small cheeky passes, seeing
Yeah.
things that people are not seeing now. Where
Even
Chelsea, where
besides
Chelsea,
passing, yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes when teams play against a low block, and don't get me wrong, low blocks are notoriously difficult to play against. And
oh, of course,
the reason why it's like that, yeah. The reason why low blocks are notoriously difficult to play against is because they are designed to be difficult to play against. That is why they
yeah,
are low blocks.
yeah.
So when you're playing against a low block, right, one
Mm.
thing you need is a player. Sometimes you need a player that can just carry the ball, dribble one person, and attract other people to him to create space for other people in the final third.
Good. You have
Chelsea
you have Doku.
have that in João Pedro, but the problem is that João Pedro now is too high up the pitch to do that job.
Now, Joao Pedro is expected to be the person waiting for spaces to be created.
Of course, 100%, 100%. That's
And
that's
now
what.
the only other person that could do that is a Palmer. And everybody knows that now when you see the ball with Palmer, oh, send five people to him, you know. So every other person is there looking for space that's been created by just one person
Mhm.
or two people. No, I need more than that to, you know,
Yeah, to
kind
unlock the defense.
yes, to just be those people that would not play your pass back, pass until you know. I love the passes, but sometimes it shows that, oh my God, it seems like these people are confused at this moment. And then once I get one playmaker, like you asked me, once I get one playmaker, if the playmaker happens to be maybe a good striker, and then they're now alternating the way um um Mane, Firmino, and Salah trio was doing back in the day. You know,
Mhm.
when one person's with the ball, the other person's running. Create only runs alone will create space. Even if you're not doing anything with the ball, just run
Yeah,
will create space because they'll start chasing you because anything is possible, right?
that's true. That's true. By the way, if you're in the chat, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let us know your thoughts on Chelsea. Let's know your
we
thoughts on Chelsea.
please like, subscribe if you're here. So
Yeah.
back to it. So that's what me I think I need.
Mhm.
Every other person in the Chelsea team, I don't think I need to send anybody out of the door for real. Not right now, because I need almost every type of hand on deck for now. One transfer, you give me these two type of people. If Chelsea was, let's say, for example, what I would have loved Chelsea to do was to purely get this Semenyo, or I'll be honest, maybe Ademola Lookman,
Yeah.
because that kind of person can move with the ball, run with the ball, do one kind of thing. If there's anybody that should leave the door, it might be Garnacho. You understand? So that we'll know that
Hey,
we just have one. We know that we just have one winger to the left.
hey man, you see
I
Garnacho
don't.
and
I know
Garnacho,
if you like confusion because
Garnacho
uh,
and Gittins there.
there's
G
there's
You see,
no.
let me
I'll
say this.
forgive
Let me
kittens
say this.
any day
Let me say
because
this. Yeah.
okay.
You see Garnacho and Gittins here. I call them G
Mm.
strings because they are pants, bro. Those two guys, yeah, they are the most lost wingers in the Premier League. I don't know how Chelsea have managed to pull that off. Signing Garnacho and Gittins for the same position in the same transfer window when players like Semenyo were available When players like, I don't
Yeah.
know, Iliman Ndiaye in the Premier League, that is a sacrilege. That is the problem. That, you know what that tells me? That tells me that Clear Lake are not ready to win. Clear Lake are on this money laundering thing. They are on this
I
signing
swear.
players,
I
signing young
swear.
players and
It
selling
might
them
just
for
be it might
places.
just be money laundering
Brother, it's peak.
because the time of Abramovich and Maria and when Czech was part of the sporting directors,
Mm-hmm.
you can't be buying all this bullshit. Like, is this midnight robbery? Jesus, what did you guys watch before you bought him? YouTube?
Man.
Well, it's gotta be YouTube. Like, there's no way.
Listen, even me, if I was a scout and I saw Garnato's YouTube highlights, I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole, man.
So,
It is mad.
yeah, I expect them to, and also get me when these people come. There's also time for them to blend in. But once I have this kind of setup, one or two defenders, one playmaker, or whoever it is from whatever. Once I have that playmaker, I can. You see, DMFs in Chelsea. I just wish this boy can just get off injury.
Who's that?
Um,
Race?
no, no, no. Um,
Caicedo?
no, this other black dude.
Santos?
No, not Santos. Ah, this is how he has been forgotten. This is too bad. I remember his name.
He's a midfielder.
Yeah, I remember his name some minutes ago, but I just forgot. So it's what's his name? So if he was back, literally, if he was back,
Oh, you mean Romeo Lavia?
Lavia. So
Yeah.
if Lavia was back, it would have been easier, right?
True.
Because
Lavia's a baller, man.
Lavia's pairing with Caicedo is a low block on its own.
Bro, Lavia's a
Because
baller.
because Caicedo and Lavia in short, it's like Lavia is a refined version of Caicedo that
He's,
can
he's,
move.
he's way more talented than Caicedo.
Yes, he's a refined version of Caicedo,
Mm-hmm.
and the only place where Caicedo is bigger than him is in like aggression, just aggression, like
True.
extra aggression, in like what's
Caicedo just wants to clamp, man. He just wants to clamp people. That's what he wants. Brother, so that you watch Caicedo like in the game against, was he Arsenal when he got the red card? Man, I'm like, that tackle is so unnecessary. So
I think Caicedo is one person that if he gets the red card in the team, they might probably give him a raise.
Brother. Caicedo has red card incentives on his contract because the way he
I
clamps
swear,
it's insane.
So Lavia was because I've watched Lavia and Caicedo mix before, bro. It was just donate. I would play Caicedo Lavia mix against any team in the world. I'm telling you.
I hear that.
Yeah, I would play them as a mix against any team in the world, and I promise you, you guys are not going to own that midfield.
I
You're
tell
going
you
to.
this. The reason why Caicedo and Lavia works very well is because they complement each other. What Caicedo is not good at, Lavia is great at. And
Great
what
at.
Lavia is not good at, Caicedo is great at.
Yeah,
Lavia,
Lavia can pass a lot.
Lavia is a player that wants to play on the ball. He wants to receive the ball, play in the half spaces, in the half.
He dribbles, and
he dribbles, yes.
He has
dribbles,
this
he can
drop
carry the
of
ball.
shoulder kind of.
He dribbles, he dribbles, he can carry the ball, but his best ability is in the first phase of build-up. So getting the ball, sitting in behind the pressing attackers, and then receiving the ball, the half turn, turning into space, driving with the ball, finding the pass. That is Lavia. And Caicedo is just a sweeper. He's just a sweeper. Just running into tackles, clamping man. If you want him to press on the high end, or he can also press higher up the pitch.
Yes.
So the pairing of Caicedo and Lavia is a pairing that Chelsea needs. They need that to happen because.
And so that's why I said I'm not even in the mood to say that I need somebody out of the door except it's Garnacho because they are underplaying the wing now in Premier League is like Jesus. Look at everybody. Every top team has those wingers that would kill you. Like
for sure.
What? If you go to City, you have the only on that wing where Garnacho is playing. Only that wing. Go see what City has. Doku.
Bro.
They have Doku, they have Semenyo. Only on that wing. Only on that wing. They could put Shirky there.
Savinho.
Yeah, no, they have Doku Semenyo. They can even put Shirky there. On
I mean,
only on
Savinho.
Oh, okay. No, Savinho will play from the right to left. I'm
That's
talking
because
like
Pep plays him there. When he was at Girona, whole time he was playing on the left hand side.
like
Yeah,
from left to right, Savinho.
yeah,
But
yeah.
even when he was left footed,
Yes, he's one of those left wingers that like to play on the left.
that's old
If
school
you watch from
style.
Man City,
That's that's old.
his best performances for City have come on the left.
So that's old school style.
Yeah,
I remember that type of football, but that's old school style. Yeah.
I like
So
actually, yeah, I like that a lot. I recently realized that that is the part of the game that has gone missing because that stretches the pitch. If you watch Manchester United against Arsenal, yeah, the way we set up, yeah, we had Ahmad on the right and we had Patrick Dogu on the left. Patrick Dogu is a left-footed player that's comfortable playing on the left-hand side. That is very rare in football, very rare among wingers, and it is very beautiful to see because it gives you a different dynamic in attack. It allows you to and Dogo also has a special ability of playing on the inside. He can underlap, he can go inside, he can carry the ball not just on the outside, he can carry it on the inside. And he has a decent cross on him. He has developed that. That is an ability that's lacking in today's game, especially if you have a striker in the box that is ready to receive crosses. Having a player that plays on the outside, on his strong side as a winger, is a luxury right now in football. And a lot of teams don't have that. So Man City having Savinho being able to Savinho is one of the players that can do that, just like Dogu can do that. He doesn't have the athleticism of Patrick Dogu, but he's a good player. Savinho is a
no, no,
good.
no, no. So Savinho is, I mean, is a very decent player. Yes, I
Mhm.
could give you that. Then um, for me, that's my own mix that I think um once Chelsea have it,
Mhm.
unlocking will be easy. I almost would say I trust I can't say 100%, but I can say to a huge extent I trust like the wait just a second. I
Mhm.
trust the people who are going to be
Yeah.
dealing with. You can see me, right?
Not yet. No.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
back now. Yeah.
Sorry. I had to say
Yeah, that's
something.
fine.
So, but I trust the people who are dealing with the defense of Chelsea. Like I trust them that they're going to grow. Anchampong, Santos. I don't want to write anybody off real quick.
Yeah.
That's how we wrote Salah off, and then look at what he is, and some many others. So right, I don't want to write them off real quick because Anchampong is showing promise. Santos sometimes here and there, but Santos too can grow, right? Um, Also, I've seen Chelsea play this before. I've seen Chelsea play Malo Gusto on the left.
Yeah.
That's another thing about Malo Gusto.
I think Gusto is a better. If is Rich James available now?
Well, Rich James.
Rich James is he available?
Oh yeah, Rich James is available, but Rich James is the goose that lay golden eggs. So you got to know how to use it.
That's not how to use him, man. I don't
Yeah.
think he can play right back anymore for long periods of time without getting injured because it's kind of a similar situation between Rhys James and Luke Shaw. It's like their bodies, their natural frames are not built for fullback positions. They are too heavy to play fullback. To be a fullback, you have to be light, you have to be quick on your feet. At some time in their careers, they were that. Luke Shaw and Rhys James, they were that. But right now, it's evident that they cannot carry the load of being a fullback anymore. Luke Shaw
That's sprinting back and forth, back and forth.
Luke Shaw right now. That is why when Amorim was here and he was playing that three at the back, Luke Shaw was probably Manchester United's most consistent defender because he's still a good player. Technically on the ball, he's still very sound. Rich James, the same thing, but they don't have the industry. Their body cannot carry the industry of running up and down that byline now. Just doing that work that fullbacks do. They can't do it anymore. So Rich James, luckily, yeah, Rich James is such a good player that you can play him anywhere. So midfield, he just slots in easily. Easily, he slots into midfield. Luke
Yeah.
Shaw is gonna have more. Luke Shaw is gonna have more issues because Luke Shaw cannot play in midfield. He doesn't have the ability to play in midfield. He can play on the outside. Now we're using him as a fullback again. Has he been decent? He's been fine, but he doesn't give you the industry that normal fullbacks give you. like Patrick Dogu will give you whenever he was playing at fullback or something like that. Luke Shaw is just not that guy anymore.
Yeah.
So that is
So
like the transformation in their games.
they are actually definitely getting older, and they're actually getting older. And the older they're getting, sometimes, like you said, their body size is really telling on them personally. And James is now, I think he's also transforming his game into somehow. I think it was just at the time when he got into Chelsea that he had to play the right back, because right back was like a position where somehow I feel like James also, in doing academy time, I've not gone into like really doing academy time, was also used as something like this, like a midfielder or something, because the easy he plays with it shows you that he's not meeting it for the first time. And there's this confidence they have, even in his sister, like they hold the ball and they just hold the ball. And it's just there. It's like it's their own. Like they bought the ball. So,
Yeah,
and if now he cannot run, he can also use him for some, so at some point at some position. And
that's true.
he has these leadership qualities about him, right? And I do enjoy his game. So yeah, I have a quick one. I have a thriller about um people who play as a team. There's a new results that came out as uh, three people who are like the best trio. I mean, sometimes I'm trying to sell people the idea that some fans on your page might not like me after this, but they might still go back to check. You know, I like to sell people the idea that if you take away a lot of PR, you're not supposed to compare your mom with Olisa. People feel like it's wrong. Like recently, it's shown that Olisa, Diaz, and Kane is the most efficient trio in all of Europe right now.
I agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
they have 111 goals. I can shoot you up the screenshot so that you can look at it. It was coming
Mhm.
from the page of Bayern Munich. I can shoot you up so that you can look at it. They have 111 goals altogether, as against 111 goals altogether is against okay, probably I didn't save it on my phone. They have 111 goals together as against um uh Yamal trio with Lewandowski and Rafinha or Pedri or whatever. And then the other trials, they had like five different trials put on the line. Olisa's trial has 111. The other ones, Man City's own with Holland had the same 60, 69 or 67 goals, with, all together, the trial.
Yeah.
Yeah, had 7 goals altogether in a certain amount of games. And that was like the same thing for Yamaha. The two had the same amount of goals. I say this to say that people are sleeping on, the personality and the finesse and the my friend who is a Liverpool fan, he's always begging like, oh, when we sell Salah, I just want Olise so bad, because that boy is skillful, calm, and he's just doing his thing like he's not doing anything. But I know PR is not going to push his P that much. But
For sure, man. For sure. Olise is special, man. I think it's. I don't know. I don't know if I want to say he's better than Yamal yet. The reason I don't want to say that is because we've seen Yamal lead teams to trophies, to serious trophies. That also has its place in the game. Numbers wise, this season it's not even close, man. It's not even close. Only Olise is like he has stamped his foot in the conversation. He's seriously in that conversation right now between him and
yeah,
Yamal in terms
yeah.
of I wouldn't say the best footballers in the world, but I'll clearly say the best right wingers in the world.
But why didn't they put Olise in part of like FIFA 11, or what position did they give to him as well doing the world best? Are you sure they even put Olise in any of the?
Let me see the
I
Ballon d'Or. Let me look up the Ballon d'Or rankings. 2025.
don't know if they did.
I didn't really hear of him a lot, but that was his first season at Bayern. Uh, Ballon d'Or ranking. So yeah. Alicia was in. Even I'm seeing Desiree do it. He didn't have the season he's having this year last year, so that makes sense. Ballon d'Or is always like he finished 30th. I'm looking at it now. He finished 30th in the Ballon d'Or. He didn't have the same season, but now you can see that he's settled into that league and he's doing his thing.
Okay.
And he's looking unstoppable, man. He's looking really unstoppable. He say like but you see, there has to be discount for that German league, man. Because man,
Why?
I've seen Timo Werner look like prime CR7 in that league. I don't know, man. That German league is very, very so very, very sauce league, man. Very sauce. I'm not lying. I'm not lying to you, man. That German league,
So
it
you're
works.
calling it
Look at
you're
these
calling
three
it the
players.
Fisherman League.
But don't get me wrong, yeah. Luis Diaz was a decent player for Liverpool, but he was on and off. He wasn't a consistent performer at Liverpool. Even Liverpool fans will tell you that. He has gone to the German league now. He's looking like he's found his juju again. He's looking mad. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that if you're a player with a decent amount of pace in the German league, you're bound to be successful. Every player that has some kind of pace in the German league is doing all right. So
Well,
Olise,
you can't say that people who have moved from Germany down to England didn't do like
oh,
super
they
well.
don't they don't do well. They're notoriously bad in the Premier League. When players move from Germany to England, notoriously it doesn't end well. Let's
So
talk about
you want to say Schweinsteiger did not do well for Man
he wasn't great. He came at the end of his career, so I can understand. He was all right, he was decent, but he wasn't. I don't have as a Man United fan, I don't have memories of Schweinsteiger that I'm like, oh my god, man, Schweinsteiger. I don't have any of those memories because he came to the Premier League late in his career, and that's understandable. But when you talk about the other players, Henrik Mkhitaryan, for example, he came to the Premier League and died, bro.
U.
He came to the Premier League and immediately he lost it. Jadon Sancho, another one. Timo Werner, another one. Kai Havertz at Chelsea, we could see that. At Arsenal, it looks like he's doing well now. He's doing all right. He has done so well for his career. In Arsenal, it feels like Arteta has worked something out with Havertz. But across the board, when players come to the Premier League from Germany, they tend to struggle. It's not an easy transition for them. So
True.
that is something that makes me question that league a little bit more because in the league where you have a lot of spaces in behind and players can exploit that, people with pace will rule. And in the Premier League, you're not going to come to the Premier League. You're not going to come to the Premier League from German league and become one of the fastest players or one of the most physical players. So they come into the Premier League and they look shell shocked because the physicality and the pace of everybody matches and surpasses their own. That's an issue that players that is the big issue that players that transition from German league to the Premier League face. And even when you go to strikers, I think Podolski come from Cologne to Arsenal. He was all right, but he wasn't great. He was
Yeah,
all
but
right, but he wasn't great.
Balak was great
Who?
for Chelsea.
Balak was
Okay.
great for Chelsea, but he was better at Bayern. He was
Uh-huh.
far better at Bayern.
Mhm.
So it's like all these players, they do. I mean, if you're a great player, you're a great player, irrespective of where you're playing. But the league you play in can go a long way in determining how successful you are and your legendary status in the game.
Talking about leagues, and you might want to call it Fisherman League and all that stuff. If England has a Super League, what happens to them in during cup games? If they have Super Leagues and they have their own playing in their own league, what happens to them during competitions? And do you think Spanish League outweighs English League? It's possible Spanish League outweighs English League, but also we find people like Germany winning trophies that won the World Cup. The England hasn't. So when they have a league that looks pretty situated and pretty put together, what do you think is the missing sauce in the English team?
I'll tell you this here. You, I don't think it's fair to make a direct comparison between leagues of a particular country and the success of the country internationally. This is the reason why.
Okay.
The reason, the reason is because international football is played at a much slower pace than regular league football in any league you go across the world. I mean, let's just use the European top five league, for example. Spanish
Okay.
league is quicker than the pace of football in the Spanish league, which you could argue is probably the slowest league or Italian league in all Europe. The pace of football in those leagues is still higher than or faster than that of the international football. So international football is more like now individual brilliance comes into play a lot. It's not just your team play. Some teams can hold that team play, like Spain. You can see it's team play, but besides Spain, realistically, how many teams in international football play well as a team? It's not a lot of teams. It's mostly individual brilliance. Even for France, it's Mbappe, it's Dembele. They have all these names on their team. You go to Germany, it's the same thing. And the reason why those German teams were successful, the reason why those German teams were very good, is because they played with each other. All of them were in the German league for the most part. All those players were in the German league, except maybe I don't think Otze was there at the time when they won the World Cup. He was not in the German league, but all the other players like Mats Hummel, like all the players, they always play in the German league, and because of that, it is easier for them to play with each other. Now, let me give you another example. There was a time when Al Ahly and Zamalek were at the top of African football, and that coincidentally I don't think it's a coincidence, but for the sake of this conversation, let's call it a coincidence, right?
Mhm.
That period was the same time when Egypt won back to back to back AFCON. You understand? That is not a coincidence in my book because all the Egyptian players played for either Al Ahly or Zamalek. So these players are used to a particular kind of football, quick transition football and all that, and club style football. So when they bring that club style football into an international tournament, it makes the game automatically easy for them. So that is one thing that England doesn't have. Because England, as much as they have a lot of players in the Premier League, and most of their squad always comes from the Premier League, they don't have the individual brilliance to be successful at top tournaments like the Euros and the World Cup. They do have the likes of Cole Palmer, but they will keep him on the bench. They do have the likes of Jude Bellingham cannot be your main player winning the tournament. When your opposition have Kylian Mbappe, your opposition has Vinicius Jr., your opposition has Lamine Yamal. You understand? You cannot be going into a night. What's it called? You cannot be taking a knife to a gunfight. You just get shot, drop dead immediately. So it's like England, they do have a squad on paper, right? If you look at the Premier League, but
Yep.
these are
That's
players that are
that's the
system
word.
players for the most part,
Squad on
except the likes
paper.
of, yeah. But these are players that are system players for the most part, except the likes of Cole Palmer, Phil Foden. Phil Foden to a degree is also a system player, if I'm being honest. But that's it. Most of the England players are system players. They don't have they don't have players that can pick up the ball from way out and just slap it into the back of the net. That doesn't happen in England. So that is the limiting factor for England. They need to allow players that are mavericks to thrive. And next tournament at the World Cup, if England want to win, they need to make sure Cole Palmer plays a lot of minutes.
That's if they let that sentiment fly. I would want to say not just Cole Palmer. I want to say they should give opportunity to Watkins.
You rate
Because
Watkins.
you say what?
You rate Watkins.
I rate Watkins, and I have a few reasons because Watkins play in a team that is not supposed to be rated per se, and he has survived over the years up until the point where he has been noticed by the national team of England. Now, all in all, Watkins might not be your super player, but Watkins would look for the goal for you one way or the other. He just it's like Tony.
Mhm.
He will hustle that goal for you. Like that goal is going to come one way or the other, right? And if you want to make him the sub guy, it's fantastic because Watkins also is very physical. So if you use him as a sub guy, that means he's going to press against the other people's defense, and probably the defense is weak, so he will just run over them, right?
I think
But
so. Yeah.
yeah, but
The thing,
Watkins,
one thing about Watkins I noticed here, a lot of people underrate Oli Watkins. And by the way, if you just came into the chat, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join
yeah,
in, let us know your thoughts in the chat. Be a
yeah,
part of be a part of the conversation. It's a sermon,
yeah,
but
yeah,
the congregation has to put in their let's keep it
yeah,
pushing. So
yeah.
the thing about Watkins here is that people ignore the fact that Oli Watkins is guaranteed goals. If you go look at his Premier League record for every season he has been at Aston Villa, right?
Mhm.
Oli Watkins has scored in double digits, and double digits is not easy to do for a striker. I
It's
don't
not
care.
easy.
I don't care what anybody says. As a striker in the Premier League, scoring double-digit goals every season is not easy. Not every striker can do it. And when you look at his double digits, it's like 14 and above. Except from his first season, I believe his first season he had like 11 goals or one of his first two seasons. Besides that, 14, 15,
And it's
16.
not the team where you
It's just
say that all
stagnant.
the players are playing like they are Man City, right? It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, it's just a regular team. So
that's
it's
a
like
regular team.
come the end of the season, Oli Watkins is guaranteeing you 15 goals as your starting center forward. I don't think people should be taking that for granted because not a lot of strikers in world football, not just in the Premier League, starting for a team like Aston Villa or the level of Aston Villa are giving you that. So he's a
Exactly.
bagsman. He's a bagsman. The only issue is that he's old. He's older now. So most teams will not want to go in for a player of that age, not because of his abilities, but because of the resale value.
This is more like for the national team. Like as England, I need England to like give him like some time, and
Mhm.
because we are talking about old, Harry Kane too is old. They're all aged people, right? But England
Mhm.
should give them that opportunity for him to like play because I see a lot of hunger in him when he's trying to play, and like you said, he's going to look for the goals for you, the batsman. So when you
Oh yeah.
feel like you're not having results. I've watched one game like that. They were not having goals or something. They just put Palmer and put Ollie Watkins, and then goals came. I think it was two goals. The both of them were able to screw out within 10 minutes. They came in, and the game was almost over. Right. So why wouldn't you have that kind of people? Be in your national team because everybody's getting kind of concerned about like the way you have super team, super players. This one plays in Real Madrid. This one is in Real Madrid. This one is in this one. This one is in Atma. This one is in Premier League. And you guys cannot hold that even the European trophy, talk more of a World Cup trophy. So it's a little bit disturbing. I know Tuchel now that he's the coach, he would like to look at Palmer because Palmer is his boy.
Oh yeah.
So it will be easier for Palmer to operate. So
Now
yeah.
I need Palmer has to start for England. And by the way, this Vinicius Junior incident today, man.
Oh,
That incident
oh.
was
So
should I say
so
disgusting for the
so
first.
I wanted to make this comment and make it very, very stanley. This is 2026. I didn't know that people would, the sports people sometimes try to play mind games with you. But this is like a punch under the guts. This is speaking against someone's humanity. And race is not just a thing of skin color, it's how people perceive you and all that stuff. And you know, more like make you look like a disadvantaged person, like someone who was born with like some incapacities and like a leprous person. And
Mhm.
so someone who has won something, I'm sure that boy has not lifted anything Champions League in his life.
Bro,
Talking about like Super Cup and all that stuff. I'm sure he has not scored a goal in the
bro, he
finals.
hasn't even lifted a water bottle.
He doesn't know what playing in the finals is, and then you lifted your shirt to like make a comment so that nobody hears it. I mean, it is, and then I watched the aftermath. I watched behind the scene of that game. I watched. That's what I watched. So I watched it very, very focused. So in
Mhm.
the behind the scene, it was very, very heated argument. It was a very heated argument. It had scenes where the camera had to move to one side, and there was officials from Benfica trying to reach out to officials from trying to reach into the dressing room of Madrid fans for some reason, but they didn't let it because I'm sure Madrid might try to file something against them because they ended up throwing water bottles at Vinicius. You know, wherever Vinicius and Trent came to the corner, they ended up throwing water bottles to them, not just the statements of whatever. Nobody knows exactly what the statement is because they are claiming now that there was no mic around to pick it up. That we will look into it, we investigate more about it. Shit. I don't want to say that that's all bullshit, but like Thierry Henry said, he has gone through it, he has experienced it before, it has happened to him. And some people looked at it when he was complaining that it was an excuse, he was just trying to look for excuse. So but now seeing that people are still doing the same thing as benign, it's not something acceptable in real life, talk more of like in a game that actually brings people together. So I don't know. I think they should find Benfica as a team. They should find them probably
I
maybe.
think they should play the rest of their. I don't know. I think they're out of the Champions League, right? But they still have their away
No,
fixture.
this is just one. This is just one
They have
game.
the return fixture to play. So
Yeah,
I don't know if that's gonna be at home or away. I don't know who was
it's
home.
going to be at Bernabeu, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it was a home game for Benfica, I'd say a good punishment to be making them play without their fans. I think they've done that to other clubs before. That's a good punishment for Benfica. And then the player himself, I don't even want to say his name because he doesn't deserve it, honestly. If you behave, then he needs
And
to.
it's a small boy. Like you haven't gone too far in soccer. I mean, this is. Bro, that was just one goal. If you're too confident in your team, you guys can equalize. There's no need for you to go to hit someone under the jugular trying to, say something stupid to them so that you spoil their mojo and see if they start playing terribly. Because sometimes sports people want to use that against you, tell you something about, something they feel like they know about you. That's almost like something similar that happened to Zidane, and Zidane had butted, and that
But
was it.
yeah,
Because I heard he said something about his sister. So
yeah.
yeah, so people
But yeah,
don't.
you see the thing about this Vinny case is that that guy knew what he was doing because we all know the history that Vinny has with fans and the racism that he has seen from fans in the Spanish league. You understand? So
Yeah,
that guy knew what he was doing. There's no way he can say he doesn't know what he was doing because what he was doing, he was trying to wind up Vinny. He knew that is the way he could wind up Vinny. And
yeah,
he said it. He said it with what I heard. I heard he said it 5 times. And Mbappe heard it also. So it's like Mbappe responded very well. According to the quotes, I think he said Mbappe was like, yo, Vinny, whatever you want, we'll do. Whatever Vinny wants to do, we're going to do. And then when I saw Jose Mourinho's comments at the end of the game, I have to say I was very, very disappointed. For for a coach that has coached a lot of African players, for a
yeah.
coach that is
I
beloved.
didn't get to hear what did he say, please, if
He
you
said
can.
something in the semblance of like Vinny should like Vinny should basically Vinicius Junior should celebrate like Pele did and be graceful in his celebration. Basically saying insinuating that the way Vinny celebrated or the way Vinny celebrates is the reason why a lot of fans or players have those kind of inclinations towards him. But irrespective of the way he plays, Vinicius Junior is Brazilian. Brazilians, when they score, they dance. Matheus Cunha is releasing mixtapes of dances every weekend for Manchester United. Nobody's complaining about that. You understand?
Yeah,
Cunha
yeah,
every weekend, a new mixtape. The guy just did
yeah,
dance, just they doing thing, no send anybody. He was
yeah,
he was surfing the other day. The other day he
yeah,
was doing a different dance, and it's like it's a
yeah,
Man United right now. But nobody gives a damn about that. But when it's Vinny, it's like he should not dance. He should not do his thing. He should not do what he's supposed to do. Come on, man. Football is a
no,
game of passion. Not everybody expresses passion by being angry. A lot of people think passion is just anger. Passion is not anger. Vinicius Junior is allowed to express his passion with dancing, with celebration, because that is his culture. That is the group of people he comes from.
yeah,
Every Brazilian dances. Every
yeah,
Brazilian know They
Yeah,
dance. Neymar scores, he dance. Ronaldinho
yeah,
scores, he dance.
yeah.
The World Cup, the FIFA World Cup, we always know that when Brazil is playing, there's going to be a group
The
dance,
new dance move that everyone is doing,
bro. So it's like people
or
should
a
be used to that
or a new
already.
haircut.
Exactly. People should be used to that. People should be used to that already. So this whole thing about Vinny is like it's it doesn't sit well with me at all, man. It
I
shows.
thought at one point they made him the ambassador in charge of like anti-racism group in the FIFA. That's
Yeah, but if I'm Vinny, honestly, that's like a backhand compliment. If I'm Vinny, I don't want to be the ambassador of racism for FIFA. What the hell? FIFA should do their job. You be the ambassador of racism for an organization that doesn't punish people for being racist. How many times have people been racist to Vinicius Junior and done things of that nature, not just to Vinny, to other players? It happened to Lukaku in Italy. No action. They don't take any measures to stop racism. Sometimes it feels like FIFA is complacent to this thing that is happening because now this is going to happen. Trust me, yeah, this player that did this stuff is going to go scot-free. He's not going to get a fine. He's not going to get anything because they're going to use the excuse of how do we know that he actually said it? And that is a
yeah,
very classic excuse. That is a beautiful excuse, don't get me wrong. But it is an evil deed in the same sense, in the same level. It is an evil deed. You get me? So FIFA should not be letting people get away with stuff like this because when they do, they poison the game. They poison the essence of the game. Football is a game that's supposed to be played joyfully, passionately,
yeah,
happily. Players need to
yeah,
exchange. People go on the pitch and they exchange personalities. That is part of football. It's not just the
yeah,
physical. It's not just the physical nature of scoring a goal, passing the ball. No, it is the character that we love to see. When other players do it, they call it passion. They call it passion.
yeah,
Oh, he's so passionate. Diego
yeah.
Costa spent his whole career beating up people, fighting people. What is his name? Luis Suarez was biting up people.
I did.
So Diego Costa beat people for most of his career. He was fighting people. Suarez was biting people, but nobody abused them racially. Nobody said anything about their race. But Vinicius
Yeah.
Junior dances, which is a part of his culture, a deep heritage of Brazilian culture. And then it's a problem. Why? Why is it a problem? Why does
It's
he have to tone down his dancing? Why does he
it's
have to tone
dancing.
Why does he have
Yeah.
to tone down his personality to please who? Why does he have to tone all that down? Because he wants the players to not treat him badly. Don't you see the reverse psychology in that? Don't you see the problem in that issue, FIFA? Now I'm speaking to FIFA directly now because you guys need to change. We
No,
need to fix stuff.
I think they're very complacent. It's not even because Thierry Henry, they called, somebody who is, some group of organization that has to do with, some of these things. She started off with like, when you get to this point, that means it's now taking like a human rights,
Mhm.
and all that stuff. But at the end of all of that, it was still the same bullshit they sold because they're like, at that point, the referee has two things to do. It's either he decides that the game is good enough for him to continue, or the game has to stop. And the game didn't give him the reason for him to stop, so he had to continue. And from what the VAR checked, because she said immediately this sign is given, VAR goes into check and blah blah blah. How is VAR going to hear something that will be said under someone's shirt in the middle of the park?
Facts.
You're not going to hear it. So what are you going to say? So now they're saying, "Oh, it's going to be your word against my word." At the same time, at the same time, it still doesn't do anything for anybody because what has been said has been said. What they said to Zidane, he doesn't play that way. He never played that way. Why did you think he reacted that way? Something
100%.
actually happened to react that way. But now you punish him for his reaction, fine. But nobody spoke about what's happened, that put him in that reaction. So it's more like people who do this nastiness are permitted to do it. And people who they are issuing all of this nastiness to should have the balls to soak it in.
Yeah.
And
And not
and that's not
retaliate.
and that's not what people come to do. People came to soccer to play and win or get their minds off things, not the other way around. So
Yeah, man,
it's it was
I really hope Vinny comes out of this without like some kind of because some people don't understand. Some people don't understand the mental, the mental fatigue, the mental block, or the mental stress that it can cause when someone racially abuses you at your place of work. Let's not get
I think Vidi is going to come back
yeah. Let me let
very
me let me
very
make let me make this
vindictive.
point. Yeah. Let me make this point. Yeah. When we talk about footballers, yeah, we like to put them in the box like these people are just here to entertain us. But when
Yeah,
you think about it on a deeper level, Vinicius Junior is at his place of work and getting
yeah,
racially
yeah,
abused.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
getting racially abused at his place of work. That is not a good feeling. You understand? The next time he goes on the pitch, he's going to think about that. It's
yeah,
going to be at the back of his mind that man,
yeah,
these
yeah,
people don't like me, man. These
yeah,
people think I'm less of a human.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that is something that can affect the player's performance. It can affect his career as a footballer.
yeah, yeah,
People do not take things like that into account when when he makes such disgusting comments towards someone, and that
yeah,
is as inconsiderate as you can be as a human being. That is
yeah,
as selfish as you can be as a human
yeah.
being. Racism is not just racism. Racism has a lot of other nuances to it that should be called out also. And when a situation like this occurs, man, it should be like the whole world of football should be against that player. Should be against Benfica.
I also believe that some teams are going to react towards this, and I think they need to like rewrite, you know, these kind of things because just let's just imagine that this was an example of a girl who just came out and said, "Oh, he raped me." Would they have been like, "Oh, we want to see the footage.
Hell
We
no.
can't. We didn't hear it." They'll probably swing into that. Oh, why did you rape? Oh shit! Everybody goes that direction, right?
And that's how it should be.
Exactly. Now, someone gives you a gesture to show that they're trying to hide their mouth movements. And Terry Henry said, what are they trying to close their face for? Do they have a flu or do they have a cold? They were just trying to say shit and they don't want any cameras picking up on what they just said. And now your actions towards it to make sure that those kind of things do not happen is to go swiftly against those kind of things. But now you're saying, well, we have to like listen to all of the mics, and then who has all those time? That should take you like maybe probably 3 weeks to a month if you're really fast. So what should happen to the person? 3 weeks to a month, they shouldn't play, or since they don't have their heads put together, they should just they should just exist. It is not something I expected to happen. No, I didn't expect it to happen. To be very honest, I expect football to be way better, people to respond way better. I mean, people is going to be people and all that stuff, but it is way off limits.
Yeah.
Way off limits. That is a no, no, no. And the way FIFA should respond to things like this is the same way they respond to like a rape case, same way they respond to like a murder case. We will respond to it swiftly and make sure that they are like clear
You mean a
cut.
grip? You mean grip because the R word is very censored on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you just use grip
Okay.
instead. Yeah, say grip when
Okay.
you want to refer to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
They should make sure they put so much um uh, um um how would I put it? They put so much
Emphasis.
um not just emphasis, they put like disciplinary measures, that's the word. Put so much disciplinary measures to even scare the thought of it to people. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's so much so that if someone as a black player comes and say, "Hey, if you say stuff about me, whether it's not it," and I say, I'll tell them that you gave me a racial comment, and then the person be like, "Oh, okay, well, hell no," and then everybody would just stay their lane and act right, because now what you're trying to tell me is that I can confidently do like this and say the shit of whatever I want to. Sorry, I can
No, that's
confidently
fine.
do like this
You can use that word. That word is calm.
and say whatever I want to say.
Yeah.
And it goes as long as nobody heard me. So what else? So it's more like anything you want to do, just make sure you're smart about it, and then you can also even degrade people and do whatever. And I need Titi, which is Terry Henry. When the lady finished, he was indifferent. He just kept on repeating the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know how this feels. I know how this. I'm gonna say it again now. I know how this feels. I've been there. It has happened to me. And just like every other time when it happens, they will say, "Oh, there's nothing I can do for you." Right? And that doesn't show any form of proactive measures. That just shows that they are lackadaisical about it. They're not really interested about it. They're seeing you as probably maybe just one body of person that whatever. So, and if that's the approach, then it's not a good place or thing to do. So, and people take these things their whole life to put themselves together and do this job of playing soccer and all that and playing football. And
Yeah.
one of the last inconveniences they want to have is making them think less of themselves, because football is both mentality and skill and
And also, yeah, besides the fact of the mental stress he puts on Vinicius Junior, we as fans also we feel it because if you're a black person, right, and
yeah,
you're seeing another black player be racially abused openly with impunity,
you want to crash out.
it is it's a madness, bro. It's a madness. Like
Yeah,
me, what I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Vinicius Junior being racially abused. I don't want to see anybody be racially
yeah,
abused.
yeah,
As a black person, I connect more with Vinny's situation because I understand it. It's happened to me before, and I know how that feels. It is a terrible thing for somebody to feel. You understand? You can
mhm,
say, "Oh, be the stronger person and walk through it, and just get over it." It's just words. Words shouldn't hurt you. But at the same time, man, sometimes in certain environments, certain situations, words can be very damaging to a person.
yeah,
So FIFA needs to curb that and they need to control it because a large fan base of people who watch FIFA,
yeah,
football, and these things are black people. We might not be the biggest fan base, but there's a huge fan base in Africa watching football, watching Champions League every day. In Brazil, there's a
yes,
huge black population supporting Vinicius Junior. So we bring a lot of
yes,
revenue to the game. So that should be respected when it comes to dealing with matters like this. If we're
yes,
facing that, it shouldn't be a
yes.
case of we just look past it because we as a collective need to demand that particular respect from FIFA towards players.
That's why I'm speaking strongly about it. That's why
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
it
hey,
just
it
seems
should
like
be.
it's only black players that suffer that fate. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
No,
maybe
you're
the
not
other solution
wrong.
is not
That's
paid.
why
I
I'd be
don't
like,
think.
hey, why are you lackadaisical about it? If somebody who left the game almost 15 years is telling you that this kind of thing happened to me 15 years, I complained about it, they said, oh, it's like I'm complaining too much, blah, blah, blah. And it's still happening in 2026.
Yeah,
That
yeah, for real.
means
Like I
that
said,
means that means it's just been flimsy all those years.
mhm. It
And
feels
they're
like it feels like it's only black players that are not allowed to express themselves freely. Because when other people do it, it's passion. When other people do it, it's they love the game so much. They want to do this, they want to do that. Like I said about Suarez, the guy was absolutely biting people at the World Cup. Diego Costa was fighting people, and I'm not saying these are terrible human beings. Maybe some people can think that, and they have the right to think so. But Vinicius Junior just dances. The brother just dances, and people have a problem with that. If you want him to not dance, stop him from scoring, brother. Stop him from scoring. Stop him from scoring because you allow him to score these goals, yeah. If you allow Vinny to score these goals, he's gonna keep dancing because that is who he is. That is his culture. That is what Vinny has been brought up to be. That is his personality. You cannot take that away from him because taking that away from him takes away the joy of football. And when you do that, he doesn't want to play the same way anymore. He's not the
yeah,
same Vinny. He doesn't play with the same flair anymore. He doesn't do the same samba football anymore. So just shut up about him and allow the brother to play his football
yeah,
and go home.
yeah,
Let Vinny exist, man.
yeah,
That doesn't have
yeah.
to. He doesn't have to succumb to your standards.
Yeah.
Let me make this
No,
point. Here. Let me
no,
make this
no,
point.
no, nobody should be made to go through any of those things.
100%. Let me make this
No.
point. Here. Let me make this
Okay.
point here. You
Yes.
see, players like Vinicius Junior here, and it's not just Vinny here, in general. A lot of people want to have like all these players with flair. You want to put them in a box. Lamine Yamal is the same thing. A lot of PR has been going out trying to damage the guy. Vinny now is being racially abused. You understand? It is because they want you to act a certain way. It feels like when you're from a particular group, you cannot act a certain way because They want you to behave humble. They want you to be humble. Why does Vinny have to be humble? Why does he have to be? What does that have to do with the game? He's one of the best players in the world, obviously. There's no need for humility to be the stamp on him being a good player. Vinny doesn't go against the team. He doesn't do hard fouls. He doesn't try to hurt people when he plays the game. He plays the game clean and he plays the game beautifully. Why
Yeah,
can't he be afforded? Why can't he be Why can't Vinicius Jr. be afforded the benefit of the doubt of being a player with passion? The benefit of the doubt of being a player that loves to dance, the benefit of the doubt that of being a player that plays with his emotions on his sleeves when it comes to celebrating the beautiful game. Those are the kind of players we want to see in football. We don't want to see these robotic players or the ones that fight and do all those things. No, we want to see more of players like Vinicius Jr. that love the game, and you can see the love of the and you can see their love for the game expressed in the way they play the game and the
yeah,
way they celebrate the game. So that's what
yeah.
we need in football. So it shouldn't be chastised. It shouldn't be ignored. This situation should not be set aside. It should be persecuted to the highest order of the law. You understand? The highest degree of persecution should come upon that player
I
possible. So
think
this should
I
not go.
think they need to, like I said, I will reiterate this one more time.
Yeah.
They must look at this kind of situation just the way they look at rape and other kind of human rights issues. This has to be a grade one offense that can make your this has to be a grade one offense that can make
That can end
your
your career.
okay that can make you, yes, your team to lose their fans. I mean, things that would say, hey, if your fans throw a bottle down to anybody again, like for any reason, you're not going to have your fans for the whole season. As much as that would even cause the club to lose millions. So it's going to strike a chord. Like this doesn't have to be some flimsy. Don't worry, we're gonna that is a whole BS in itself. This has lingered way too much for it not to have a core stance, right? It has to have a footing, like a strong footing, right? And it has to happen now because you can see that the measures over time is not the consequences do not write off those silly behaviors, or else it wouldn't have continued.
True.
So that being said, if the if the repercussions of things like this really affect, bro, repercussion like this, you hit the team with, you take them back one division lower.
It's going to
Nobody
stop immediately.
Nobody's good, bro. One division lower, plus you do not have your fans for the whole season.
Brother, you need to hit people in the pocket, man. FIFA need to start hitting these people in the pocket because that is where it hurts the most. You know, when the owner of the football club understands that he's going to lose millions of dollars if his team gets demoted for this.
It will become a memo before they go to play. Now we need some training. Make sure you avoid these people. If you know you have a smart mouth and you're racist, make sure you shut the hell up and play your game and go. Because if you cost us money, we will sue you. And if you take us back to one division less, you can't you have to hold them by the neck and put those kind of pressure. So that way when people know that they have a lot to lose, then mentally there's an adjustment. It's because people understand that there are some ways you can go around things and you can just be around and still doing the same thing. That's why terrorists talking about it after leaving the game so long. That's why it has happened over and over and over and over up until this moment, is because there are lapses in what they have set up as investigation process. There are lapses so anybody can come, do their thing, and go. So if it is not if the repercussions are not as striking as that, it will still continue.
100%, 100%. It will continue.
So it has to be in that kind of heat so that everybody be like, oh no, I don't think I need this type of thing on me. You
That's
know?
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It has to be in the pockets, man. It has to be the money.
Yes.
You have to hit
Oh
them.
yeah. By the time you lose
Player
your
needs to be
fans for
fined a
one
huge
whole
fine.
season. Oh my
The,
god.
the
You
players need to be
probably
fined hugely. The player needs to be not even like serious suspension without pay. Things like that. That is fine, suspension without pay, something like that. That is the only way that's going to stop this. That this is going to
Oh,
stop.
yeah. So
Anyway,
for yeah, I wanted to ask about someone also very interesting. I
yeah,
have been seeing I've been seeing some good highlights about this particular person. It's Sex Fabregas. So Sex Fabregas, what's the name of his team? Como
yeah, come on.
brought them into a higher division, and they are repping a rock and right now. But I need to see Sex Fabregas as a coach in the Prem. What team do you think is gonna go for him? Because I'm sure I'm dead as the Manchester United. Oh no, I'm dead as the Arsenal. One would want him so bad, saying that he once played Arsenal, and same as Chelsea would want him so bad. Do you think that Sex Fabregas would have anything to do in EPL? Do you think he has a life? Do you think he has EPL opportunities? Have you actually watched Como? Have you watched him play? Because I heard that the play is a little bit different and he's a little bit stylish about how he plays, but I've really not experienced it. So that's my question too.
I haven't really watched Como, to be honest. I haven't watched them this season, but just like you, I've heard a lot about Sex Fabregas, and I'm inclined to believe that because I know what kind of footballer he was,
Yeah.
and especially midfielders, right? When
I
midfielders cook,
wanted to just say this. Midfielders always make a good coach.
they
You
coach the
just
team in
took the
their
word
image,
out
like
of
because
my mouth.
midfield is the center of everything in football. So when
Yeah.
midfielders become coaches, yeah, they naturally coach the teams in their image. And Fabregas was a fantastic footballer. So it's not
Yeah.
surprising to me that Como is doing well. Also, there's this player there that I know about called Nico Paz. He's a young player. Apparently, he's a Real Madrid player on loan at Como. He's absolutely fantastic. And he's going back to Madrid. That should tell you what kind of player he is. When Madrid sends you on loan and they bring you back, you're a serious player, man. So it's like he's good on the Premier League side. I think he's gonna get a job offer because a lot of teams are gonna need managers in the summer, right? Liverpool might need a new manager. Man United might need a new manager. You
Why
know,
do you think Liverpool would need a new manager?
hey
And
man,
why you doesn't need a new manager? You guys
have you,
have Carrick.
have you
Why
spoken to
do you
any
need a new manager for?
have you spoken to any Liverpool fan recently and their thoughts on slots?
I thought Slot was the special one.
When you speak to Liverpool fans about slots, you understand that they need a manager rambunctiously. It's like most of them right now will take a decent manager right now. Like they will say fire slot and get us a good manager. So and me, I'm not one of those guys that think Slot should leave anyway. I think he should be there for until at least at the end of the season. He's earned that by winning the Premier League. So Fabregas is going to get his time, and I'm sure in Spain there's going to be teams also that are interested in him. In Italy also there are going to be teams interested in him. So he's going to get a lot of offers in the summer. Whether he stays at Como or not, that's a different conversation. Personally, I think he's ready. He has done more than how many seasons? Probably I know he's more than two. This is at least his second season at Como.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
so that prepares you enough for the next phase of your life, your career as a manager. Como, let me look it up now. He's been Como head coach since 22-23. He joined Como. So yeah. Oh no, that was football career. Let me see his managerial career. 2023 was interim. Then he became the permanent manager in 2024 till now. Okay. So 23, 24, 24, 25, 25, 26. This is his third season at Como.
Yeah.
That's enough time. That's enough money in the bank. That's enough, credits to take that to a new job and be impactful immediately. So yeah, Sex Fabregas can do whatever he wants, man. I think he's gonna get another job in the summer. I think he leaves. I think he leaves Como.
I know the job market for managers now is very tricky. Not a lot of managers. I just heard that the manager for Nottingham Forest was sacked. He got fired. That's I think his son Sean died.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it was unfair to sack that guy because I saw this statistic that Sondash, I saw the statistic that Sondash of all the Nottingham Forest managers recently, right? Sondash has the highest win percentage. So that being said, and Sean Dyche is a decent Premier League manager. I don't care what anybody says. He might not have the most accommodating personality, but Sean Dyche is a serious manager. He's a good manager. He's a manager that can keep a team up in the Premier League, and he has shown that. I don't think he deserved to be sacked. I think he should have been given at least to the end of the season. You can't bring a manager in the middle of the season and expect him to implement his system and begin to win immediately. No, he hasn't had a preseason. He's still getting used to the players, and he's still getting you results. He's giving you high win percentages. Yes, he went on a bad run of form, but come on, man. It's not Nottingham Forest. We're not talking about Chelsea. We're not talking about Chelsea. We're not talking about Man United. That's why Marinakas needs to relax, man. That Nottingham Forest owner, he needs to relax, man. That guy he's too hands on. He's too hands on with the Nottingham Forest team. He needs to relax. Managers fired what Ange Nuno now is Ange Nuno, and now it's what's his name? Sean Dyche. In the same season, man. Where does that happen? 3 managers in the same season, and these are not slouch managers. These are managers that have done things. You know, what's his name? Nuno took Wolves to their first European appearance. You know, they went to the Europa League, I believe. And then, what's his name? I believe Ange won the league in Scotland. He came to the Premier League and won the Europa League with Tottenham. And Sean Dyche is a manager that has proved consistently that he can manage in the Premier League. So these are not slouch of managers. So he just tells me that Marinakas is too hands-on. He's too hands-on. He needs to take his foot off the pedal. His foot is on the pedal. He needs to chill out. He needs to step back and let things play out. That's what Marinakas needs to do.
I think it's now a new culture, you know, hire and fire of managers. But at the end of the day, there are not so much of them. There are not so much of them, and the ones who are going to give you results are not everywhere.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
People can know what training to do, but when it comes down to the meat and potatoes of like all of maybe the technical things to do, like doing it real time, and you know all the ones that all the commands you be yelling about, advance, go back, you stop, and all of that, will tell you that not a lot of managers have that skill.
True.
Not a lot of managers have that skill, and since Fabregas already walked himself up the ladder, and if he opens the door for options, he's definitely going to have from the Prem.
100%.
I know he's going to be happy to be back to the Prem because the Premier League has a lot of, you know, what they call it now, challenges that can make you grow over time, you know. So Premier League is one place for him to like be. And I know, but I'm looking at clubs he plays for or he played for that would want him to, you know, be around as or come as a club hero.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just the way Liverpool now was ranting one time about Xavi Alonso. Ah,
Hey,
I was lost in the sauce that Xavi is no longer with Real Madrid.
yeah.
Wow, that happened too fast.
I think it's Abeloa that's the manager now. I don't know if he's
Yeah,
in anymore permanently.
yeah,
I know it's Abeloa, but
yeah.
anyway, you look at it, man. Maybe he can go and coach Liverpool after the fire slot. So hey,
No, Liverpool one time was
that's what they'll be looking at.
yeah, they were actually looking at having what do they call it, having what they call it, a team, a player that has played for the team, a hero,
Yeah,
and come back
one of them
and
legends.
the legend, sorry, come back and take over the team.
The thing about legends, yeah, the reason I don't like when legends coach my club is like they're very difficult to fire. Even when they're doing, even when they're doing bad, everybody's giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Look at you. Is your club not doing better now because of a legend?
Yeah, we are, but it's the same thing. But it doesn't take away from the fact that last time we had a legend, we did well too. We went on a crazy run only. But then he started dying. Don't get me wrong, I think Carrick is a way better coach than Oli. Tactically, the way he sets us up, Ole never set us up like that. Even especially with the way we play defensively compact and all that. Ole never put us like that. So I put Carrick above Ole automatically in the kind of football I'm seeing us play. So that's not the question here. The question here is when the going gets tough and these legend managers begins to do bad, they don't fire them. They typically don't fire them. They just keep them and let it go down the drain. It happened at Chelsea with Frank Lampard. You understand? Frank Lampard was failing for a minute before Chelsea took the guts and had the guts to sack him. The same thing with
What?
Ole and Man United. So
Yeah.
it's look at Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. Let's be honest here. If Arteta didn't play for Arsenal, he wouldn't be at Arsenal right now. Because when
True.
you think about it, yeah, when you think about it, Arteta hasn't won enough for him to keep his job at a big club like Arsenal. So the
For the
benefit of
people of
the doubt
Assassin, no, he hasn't.
So the benefit of the doubt has to be coming from the fact that he's a player that represented the club and at some point even captained the club. I believe he captained Arsenal. He captained Everton, but he went to Arsenal later and he also captained Arsenal, I believe. So that plays a role in keeping him long. Now, I'm not saying he should lose his job because I believe he's a good manager. You don't finish second in the Premier League 3 years in a row if you're not a good manager. But we cannot ignore the fact that him being at the job has largely to do with him being an ex-Arsenal player.
Yeah.
So that is my skepticism with legends as managers because they are very difficult to get.
Well, well, I would say I share a little bit of it, the sentiment, because in that sentiment, it's also possible for them to grow
True.
if it happens that way. If it doesn't happen that way, then you have to part size, well, part ways, like they say. But the thing is, there's not a lot of people that would be as good as Ancelotti and at the same time be within our generational age. Our generational age is coming with new people, new ideas, new
Rosino, man, Amorim, all these managers are trying to change. They're trying to change the wheel,
exactly.
redefine the wheel, or reinvent the wheel. How
Yeah.
do you say? But yeah,
So this are the things that will stir you up to know that okay, once you have a good coach, especially the ones that can give you a decent result over time, probably you should stick to that because coaches are not too many now that has the results.
true, true.
There are not
Like,
too
I've,
many. They're
I've
not.
said this before. Yeah,
Yeah.
if Man United don't get like a coach of like the echelon of Hansi Flick, or what's his name at PSG, Enrique,
Oh, Enrique. Why,
or
why would you? Why do you want to find?
that's the thing. If you're not gonna bring in one of those kind of managers, bro, just keep Carrick because I don't wanna play this gamble with Oliver Glasner or Iraola. Bro, why am I gonna play that gamble when I have Michael Carrick? What have those managers shown that they're better than Carrick? I'm sorry, they haven't won anything yet. Okay, Oliver Glasner won the Europa League with Frankfurt. Yes, I respect that. That's a very, very big feat. And what he's done with Palace, despite the fact that they've been selling all his good players, is also very good, very impressive. But at the very same time, do I want him over Carrick, especially the stability that Carrick has already brought in? Why would I want to change that? Because when you change that, you're starting from square one again. So I wouldn't want to change that personally. I wouldn't want to change that. I'll just support Carrick in the transfer window with
So,
players.
what is happening with Carrick and okay. What is happening to me, Carrick and I just saw the text.
No problem. Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
recorded.
I wasn't looking. I was just running my
Yeah.
stuff. So what was happening with Carrick and them not really deciding to keep him? Because I don't see no reason why they shouldn't keep him.
Well, the thing about Carrick is that they haven't made the decision yet, right? The thing about Carrick, they haven't made the decision yet, but they'll make the decision on whether Carrick is going to stay or not at the end of the season. I believe that the board already have a decision made because he has done enough to show that tactically he's sound enough to carry this team, at least do well. But they don't want to go and rush into it and make the only mistake again, which is very fair and that is very professional. So you want to allow Carrick to continue being under the pressure of doing well because this is not just an audition for the Manchester United job for Carrick. It's also an audition for other jobs. After the job, I imagine you get a good. After this job at Man United, I imagine he's going to get a good job because if you think about it, Ruud van Nistelrooy got the Leicester City job after his interim management at Man United. So you want that pressure to be on Carrick. So he can keep delivering. As he continues to deliver, it builds the team, he helps the team. And come the end of the season, if you see that he has gotten to a point where we can now say, okay, we can put our hope in this guy because we can't find anybody else to do better than him or that could potentially do better than him. We trust can do better than him. Then all you have to do is just support him in the transfer window and get him players he needs to do his job. Because so far, so good. We didn't get the 5 wins in a row, but we are unbeaten since Carrick came, and that 5 wins in a row is just some janky thing that guy with his hair came up with. But we are
well, I mean, are you trying to say that 5 wins in a row will never happen to Manchester United?
See, we can win the league without ever winning 5 games, in a row.
No, are you trying to say that
it will happen at some point? It will happen, but I'm not saying it's not. There's not a chance that it will happen this season because we're only in the Premier League so far right now. If we were in the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, it is easier for that to happen because you can get the Grimsby. Let me not even say Grimsby. We lost to Grimsby. You can get an MK Dons. You can get like I don't know, a Coventry City. All those kind of things, Millwall that you beat them and then you come to
Coventry is stubborn.
Yeah, stubborn. I saw them in the FA Cup now when Ten Hag won the FA Cup. We almost lost that game in the semi-final.
Coventry is stubborn.
So I know about Coventry, man. But at
Coventry
the end of the day, the 5 wins in a row thing. The 5 wins in a row thing is that when you're in multiple competitions, it's easier because now you have many games that you can play against teams that are lower than you, especially when it's cup competition. Besides the Champions League and Europa League, of course. But when it's cup competition, Carabao, FA Cup, until like the 4th, 5th round, man, there's no probability of you playing anybody really difficult unless the English FA just wants to fuck with you. So that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I think we're going to be wrapping up soon. So
yeah, I expect Carrick to stay.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me, I expect him to stay because I mean, if he's doing a good work, why can't he do a great work?
For sure. We should let him stay. But come the end of the season, though, we don't know. He might start losing games now, and it's a madness. So I can't tell. It's just 5 games in.
I wouldn't even ascribe loss of a few games as something bad happened. I would just say that maybe something has to change, some style or something. Where I lose it with coaching is not when you lose a few games. Is have you started losing all your ideas about winning games? There's a time you just look at this game like, no, this one is confused.
Yeah. Like
this one right now, you're confused. You're coded. That's when there was a time that Lapa played that I was like, no, Lapa, you're not confused.
100%. They just I'm looking for solutions from within.
Exactly. Like the way Slot is now.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not.
The wickedest thing about Slot here is that Slot comes out and he starts saying nonsense in interviews. Like, see, I used to think Amorim was wacky. I used to think Amorim was a person that used to talk out of his ass. But Arne Slot takes that to a different level, bro.
So,
he takes it to a different level. He is so insolent. He is so nonchalant when it comes to these interviews. He openly exposes himself, openly exposes the football club, exposes their deficiencies. The other day he was talking about we struggle against long balls and there's nothing we can do about it. What? What do you mean there's nothing? What do you mean there's nothing you can do about it? You're the manager of Liverpool Football Club. That's why you're here. That's why they pay you the millions of dollars. So you can do something about it.
So that is where I now write the coach off, like, because I'll be like, hey boy, like at this point now.
Mm-hmm.
You're out of ideas, so let's just forget about it. So
Yeah.
I've seen it happen to like Graham Porter. I've seen it happen to Lampard. I've seen it happen to like Tuchel because just like a good start walks your mind into like start creating great things, and then
Mhm.
when that bad start happening, if you don't have like character, if you do not believe in your procedures, if you don't know exactly things to do, there's every tendency that it can sway the other way.
Zero.
And if it
That's
sways the other way, it's gonna go bad, like really bad. So
true.
all I'm saying is, in a nutshell, is when those things are moving towards that angle, that is when I now know that, oh no, I think a coach is done here.
He's done.
'Cause now there is nothing for them to reinvent. There is no style of play because why is Slot playing two attackers? Like why? Like he actually played something like a 4-4-2.
He's just trying everything at this point.
It's-
At this
I
point, it's just
mean,
a cry for help. It's like, brother,
it's
when are you
like
guys gonna sack me, bro? It's like
that's why he's like, I was saying anywhere but left is so. It's at that point I know that okay, there is no.
that's the same thing with Ten Hag, man. I saw this guy playing Mazraoui in the 10. I'm like, yeah, it's peak, man. It's dead. This is like when I saw Ten Hag play Mazraoui in the 10, I just knew that, yeah, his time is coming to an end. He's lost his depth. He doesn't know what he's doing at all. He
If you
doesn't know
play
what
Masari, then what happened to Bruno?
Ruben Amorim, I saw him playing what's his name? Mason Mount as a wing back. I'm like, yeah, bro. Yeah.
Oh, I
Maybe.
even saw there was a time you guys used Bruno to play attack.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a madness, bro. Amorim scarred me for life, man. I don't want to see that guy anywhere near my football club again.
And then I don't know what happened to Hoyland because I was like, I
Nah,
saw
that guy
you
is
guys.
not a good player, man. Yeah, he's not a good player. Honestly, some players, his coaches, some players, it's just them, you know. It's just like I don't rate Hoyland. I think his first touch is too janky to play in the Premier League. Maybe he can do well in Italy, and I wish him all the best over there so they can pay us the money. But the thing is that he's not a good player, man. He can't play in the Premier League. His first touch is off. As a striker, if your first touch is off in the Premier League, you're not gonna get time on the ball to do anything. So you're just gonna look shit. He doesn't fix that, he's never gonna play in the Premier League. Anyway, let's wrap up the show right now. Thank you guys for joining in. Like the
Yeah,
video, subscribe to the channel. Also,
yeah,
Soccer Villa.
yeah,
Subscribe to Soccer Villa channel also. Let's keep it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean,
All right.
today's edition was more informative than
Yeah. Yeah. It was a
yeah,
very informative show. It was a
yeah,
very good show. So
and and let's not also forget that football is a game of love and brings people together. And the World Cup is coming up, and I'm sure that both myself and Footy Salvation will be doing a lot of commentary and bringing a lot of content for you guys from all over the country, wherever it's happening, as much as we can. We'll try to make it live. The World Cup is going to have a tour where people have the opportunity to get to see the cup in itself live
yeah.
display, and it's going to happen in a few states. Um, we're going to see how we can make that happen if we can, run footages and all of that. Please
Yeah.
stay locked in. Free Salvation, Soccer Villa, whatever you find. Stay locked in. Enjoy your game. Well, we come here, we have fun, invite your friends. We want to have a full house. We want to be talking about, great stuff, remind ourselves about our different teams, and also, see how we can create our own teams, come here and talk about like what team that can work and all
Of
that
course.
good
Of
stuff,
course. Of
We
course.
we're here to enjoy, we're here for the game, so we enjoy the game, and this is how we send our messages across to everybody from all over the world. So from here, it's a good night.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Like the video. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Soccer Villa channel and all that. All that good stuff. All right. Let's just keep it pushing. There's a lot coming
Yes.
on this channel.
Yeah.
These shows are just the first of many. There are other things coming up. I intend
Yeah.
to, as we go, it's gonna open up. Don't worry. Let's keep it a secret for now. As it goes.
Yeah, thank you very much for the
All right.
opportunity once more.
Oh,
I
for sure,
can't
bro.
wait to
Thank you for
always
jumping on. Thank you
hang
for
out
jumping.
with you guys. Regardless, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the ride. That this is something we do for love and for the fun of it. Okay,
100%. 100%.
thank you very much.
All right, man. Take care, guys. Take care, people.